very helpful. I did try to mute all the lines, but somehow yours is still live. But once again, welcome. Grab a pencil, piece of paper, be ready to take some notes because we're going to share with you how to earn 84.2 Bitcoins over and over and over again. My background is I've been in the direct sales industry for most of my adult life. I'm 65 years old as this past October, so I can honestly say I've been there, done that. I've done everything from own a variety of different businesses to franchises, even had a pizza restaurant once upon a time, and have had great success over my adult career and been an entrepreneur 99% of my life, even as a young kid. As a less than 10 years old, I had a Kool-Aid stand out in front of my folks' grocery store and always earned my own funds growing up. So I've always enjoyed the idea of being able to generate my own income. And that's basically what we're going to talk about over the next few minutes, is how you can actually generate legacy income by becoming a collector of Bitcoin. And as I share this information with people around the country and around the globe, because we actually have people on our team from at least 5 or 6 different countries. So this is a global opportunity that has been laid out in front of us. But, the big questions that I have asked all the time is, what is Bitcoin? How do I spend Bitcoin? Those are two of the biggest questions that are asked. And so over the next few minutes, we're going to share information about Bitcoin. We're going to share information about how to spend Bitcoin. And we're going to talk about how you can use our platform to accumulate Bitcoin. And hopefully after this presentation, you'll run out of your house with your hair on fire and go and invite your first 2 people to be part of our crowdfunding team. So let's go ahead and get started. And we're excited to share with you what we have. It's basically Bitcoin meets crowdfunding. Now, you can Google Bitcoin and you literally can spend hours and days and days and weeks learning about Bitcoin. We're going to give you about a 40,000-foot overview about Bitcoin and why you should own some Bitcoin just in case they are correct. We're also going to share with you a little bit about crowdfunding and how those two come together and make the perfect marriage. Over the years, as I mentioned, I've been in a lot of different type of businesses. I've taught network marketing and direct sales around the country and around the globe. I've been very blessed to have made millions of dollars within this industry. I've watched Shark Tank even to learn about other types of businesses out there. And of all the businesses that I've had, I've seen, I've looked at, I've heard about, including all those great businesses that Shark Tank shows all the time, I don't believe there's a better business blueprint to generate wealth than what we have right here in front of us for a one-time out-of-pocket donation that we're going to talk about over the next few minutes. So, the best thing you can do for yourself is have an open mind and do your homework if it's required. And if you want to, the more time you spend trying to figure out if it's going to work, the more money you're going to lose by not taking action. The quicker you decide to take action, the quicker you can start seeing your coins stack up. So let's get started. We'll focus just a second here on our mission statement here at Bitcoin Funding Team. It's pretty simple. At the end of the day, Bitcoin Funding Team is focused on making a difference of our friends, one friend at a time. We bring together a community of like-minded friends. And bottom line, we are here to help other people create, a path to take care of all their financial needs, unexpected medical bills, housing needs, food and clothing, education, transportation costs, wipe out your debts, whether it be a mortgage or college loans, get funds for special projects. It may be a vacation, maybe a cruise, it may be doing something really special with the kids, or it might be some kind of a charitable thing that you want to do on a global basis. Whatever it is, and we're here to support you. You're here to support others, and it's one big old happy family at the end of the day. So what is crowdfunding? Crowdfunding is a very broad term for raising funds, receiving funds from a crowd of people who believe in you and your cause. Even on Shark Tank, I mentioned a while ago, there's been a lot of people come on Shark Tank and pitch their quote deal, and they started with a crowdfunding project. Most of them are what's called Kickstart, and with Kickstart, you can raise funds to start a business of your choice. And the thing about those online crowdfunding programs such as GoFundMe and Kickstart and so forth is they take a cut of the revenue that comes in, the donations that come in. They take a cut right off the top, and could be as much as 15% that they keep. Also, it could be months and months and months before you receive any of those donations. Well, here with Bitcoin Funding Team, our platform is designed that 100% of the donations goes to the people. There's nobody taking a cut. There is no commissions being paid out. There are no chargebacks being taken out. There's no banking identity. There's no government identity. This is a peer-to-peer, person-to-person platform that, once again, is without question the most beautiful blueprint for raising financial wealth of anything and any that I've ever seen. And because, once again, no employees, no brick and mortar, no bank, no Wall Street, no government, no insurance, no employees, no headaches, but it is something that you have to educate yourself on and work on a little bit. I mean, when you think about it, go back to the first time you ever heard of the internet. Most of us were scared to death of what the internet was. Go back when the first time you set yourself up to receive an email, how nervous it was and how crazy it was to think about email coming across. Now, today, we can't live without it. So here's where crowdfunding basically got its start according to the internet. If you was to Google crowdfunding, this is what would come up. The first recording successful crowdfunding occurred in 1997 when a British rock band funded their reunion through online donations from their fans. How about that one? And then other group bands started doing the same thing, raising money from their fan base, donations to be able to make new albums and go on tours. Well, as I've done my research, I found out that's not exactly true. It was not 1997. It was actually 1947 when they came out in a Jimmy Stewart movie, who played a person by the name of George Bailey in the movie It's a Wonderful Life. In the movie of It's a Wonderful Life, George was constantly helping people in all kinds of ways. And then George gets in a little bit of a trouble toward the end of the movie. He's even thinking about jumping off a bridge. But if you remember, the whole community came to George's aid. They brought money. They started pouring money down on the table. There were kids there with their piggy banks. There was ladies there with their purses full of money. There was baskets full of money, jars full of money. And the whole community came out. And you could hear them say, "Hey, George, we heard you needed some help. Hey, George, we heard you needed to raise some money. Hey, George, we heard you had a financial situation. We're all here to help you." That is a perfect illustration of crowdfunding at its very best, and it goes back to 1947. Now, when you think about money, you got to go back and kind of think about the history of money, where history, where it was, where it's at, and where we're going when it comes to the history of money. If you go back during the caveman times, it was all about the barter system, feathers and shells and beads. And then it became cows and goats and chicken, wheat and corn. If you had corn and I needed wheat, we would trade a bushel of corn for a bushel of wheat. If you had a cow and I needed milk, I'd give you maybe fish for some milk, or a goat for a hog or whatever. So it was a barter system that took place. And then as we got global, it started growing way outside of our geographical area. Then they came out with precious gems and metals in coins, and that's when gold and silver came to play. And at one time, our currency was backed up by gold. It's no longer backed up by gold. It's now the Federal Reserve, which is a private institute, and they print money like crazy. That's the reason the U.S. dollar has no real, quote, real value. So we went from the barter system to gold and silver to paper money. And how many of you right now have got, $100 in paper money in your pocket? Probably very few of you. You have what's called credit cards. And so now you do everything through digital. And most people, when they think about Bitcoin, they don't understand Bitcoin, but really you're already using a digital currency through your credit cards, because 99% of everything we buy now, we use some kind of a debit card or a credit card. And that is nothing more than an electronic transaction. And that's what Bitcoin is. It's an electronic transaction that takes place. So cryptocurrency is what we're going to talk about over the next few minutes, and how cryptocurrency, digital currency, can literally change your life. Take the airline industry. The airline industry today makes more money on their air miles than they do on the ticket they sold you to travel from New York to California. That's right. The air miles is a highly profitable part of their revenue source. We get on an airplane such as Southwest Airlines. We do, fly from city to city. We get round trip points, and when we've accumulated 25,000 points, you get a free round trip ticket anywhere Southwest goes. That has dollar value. You can actually sell that ticket. You can exchange that ticket for goods and services. You can use it for vacation, hotels, and meals. You go to Disney World. So you can actually sell those tickets online, such as Craigslist. And you can sell your airline miles, and you can trade your airline miles for goods and services. The same thing is true with credit cards. You have reward miles. As the old commercial says, what's in your wallet? So this is where a lot of people, they think really hard about what credit card they want to use today, because they want to accumulate these, quote, reward miles, because now those reward miles can be exchanged for goods and services, vacations, meals. You can even pay your light bill with reward miles and all kinds of things of that nature. So we have been using a form of electronic money for quite some time now. You have Apple Pay, you have PayPal, you have all these other services with just a touch of a button. A lot of you are already paying your light bill, your mortgage bill, and whatnot electronically with just a couple of clicks of the old iPhone or the smartphone or whatever, and you're already doing this. So that is what Bitcoin's all about. It is a I can't even say it, a digital electronic transfer on the internet. And nobody owns Bitcoin per se. There's no one individual. There's no one company that owns Bitcoin any more than there's no one person or company or country government agency that owns the internet. The world owns the internet, and the world owns Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a product that started back in 2008, 2009. It was a concept through what's known as the blockchain. And they say the blockchain is going to be bigger than the internet. Bitcoin started off of a matter of a few pennies, and today is somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,000 per coin. And if you do your research and look at some of the information that's out there, I have a website called the McDonald Marketing Group that talks about Bitcoin and the blockchain, where you can learn more about Bitcoin and the blockchain. I also have a YouTube channel that is BitcoinRetirementPlan.com, BitcoinRetirementPlan.com. It takes you to a YouTube that we got about 25 different videos there that will explain everything that we're talking about here today. It will explain the blockchain. It will explain Bitcoin, and it will also talk about Bitcoin funding team and how it works. So, once you understand that Bitcoin is real, now you want to know how to spend it. Well, you can spend Bitcoin just like you can spend, quote, real dollars. Bitcoin is accepted in over 200 countries globally. If you're in Mexico, you can take the peso and convert it to Bitcoin. If you're in Japan, you can take the yen and exchange it into Bitcoin. And if you're in Russia, you can take rubles and exchange it into Bitcoin and right back into the other currency. And it's a beautiful thing because it speaks every language on the planet. And it can be used in every free country around the globe, and you can purchase anything that you can imagine. You can even go into outer space with Sir Richard Branson will accept Bitcoin to go into his space program. So here's what happens. All these big icon people such as Google and Visa and PayPal, American Express, Western Union, Microsoft, all of these people have invested big time dollars into their platform to accept Bitcoin and Bitcoin to accept through various ways of transferring money on a global basis. A bank does wire transfers, and if you're ever used a wire transfer, you know it could be several days from point A to point B. It's a little bit expensive to do a wire transfer, but here's the deal. Banks, over 47% of their profits are through service fees that they charge us for using our own stinking money. So Bitcoin eliminates 99.9% of all those transfer fees because I can send $100,000 for pennies versus dollars by using Western Union or PayPal or MoneyGrams or a banking system. They charge you quite a bit of money. So what's cool about this is you can get your Bitcoins into what's called an e-wallet. E-wallet is like a bank account on the internet, and you have 100% control of your e-wallet. Your e-wallet does not go through any kind of a banking institution. It does not go through any kind of government agency. It's not affected by Wall Street or anything of that nature. You tie your e-wallet into your computer and into your cell phone. And now you can do all kinds of purchases and transfers with just a click of a button. You can go to an ATM machine and you can buy and sell Bitcoin on a global basis. And you can also get a credit card, debit card, a Visa or MasterCard right here. As you see right here, I have one of these. This card will hold up to $25,000. And all you got to do is apply for it right here at bitpay.com as an example. And $10, and they will send you this prepaid Visa card, just like what you would get at a Walmart. If you went into a Walmart and asked for a prepaid card, you go to the cashier, you ask the cashier to put funds on that, and she'll put $50 on there for an example. Then you can spend that $50 anywhere you like. Same thing happens here. You simply come over here to your e-wallet. You transfer funds over here to your Visa card. Let's say you put $1,000 onto your Visa card. You can now take that Visa card. You can go to an ATM machine and you can pull cash out of it. You can go to any restaurant that takes Visa or MasterCard and feed your family. You can go to any grocery store around the country, around the world. You can buy airline tickets. You can buy tickets to Disney World. You can charter a boat, charter a plane, you can get a haircut, you can do anything and everything that you want to do as long as you have funds on this card. And this one card, once again, would hold up to $25,000 in US dollars. Now think about if you was to put $25,000 cash into a bag and get on an airplane and it goes through security, what do you think is going to happen? They're going to take you to the back room and question you and may not even let you have that $25,000. But I can put $25,000 on this Visa card and I can travel the globe and nobody knows I have that Visa card in my pocket, and that I can put that Visa card in any ATM machine around the world and get money. If I'm in Mexico, I can get pesos out of an ATM. If I'm in China, I can get the yen out of an ATM or whatever. So this is, once again, the most beautiful business model to accumulate wealth of anything that I've ever seen. And to validate that, some of the smartest and most wealthy people are highly invested in taking part of this Bitcoin revolution. Take, for an example, Mr. Bill Gates. His quoted as saying it's better than currency and the fact that you don't have to be physically in the same place. So you can send money around the country and around the globe. There are millions upon millions of people who do not own a bank account. Why is that? They don't trust the banks. I don't trust the banks. Look what Wells Fargo recently did not too long ago and got fined millions and millions of dollars because of the, quote, fraud that they were doing. So fewer and fewer people are trusting in banks, and Bill Gates is part of that. Once upon a time, Bill said that everybody would be owning a computer. People kind of laugh, but today, anybody that's got a smartphone has a computer, because 99% of the smartphones that are carried today have more power than what the computer that put the first man on the moon. This gentleman right here, speaking of power, was the first inventor, developed the first web browser called Netscape. And he has invested millions and millions of dollars into the blockchain, into Bitcoin, and is committed to invest millions of more dollars. Beth Blythe Masters, considered to be the smartest woman on Wall Street, runs a $13.9 billion hedge fund for JP Morgan. We could go on and on and on with people such as Sir Richard Branson, he too has invested millions and millions of dollars into the Bitcoin space. Matter of fact, he has his own private island where he brings in some of the smartest people in this arena, and they talk about the future of this technology and what they can do with the blockchain and the technology. So if the smartest people on the planet are highly invested into Bitcoin, if it's a global thing, and every, right now, Japan, China, and the United States are the biggest investors into this space in Bitcoin, why in the world would we want to question it if all of these people see it as the future? So based on that, my question to you is, do you want to own some? Do you want to own a little, or do you want to own a lot? My suggestion is, when you have everything to gain and nothing to lose, what's the worst could happen? The worst could happen is you not even start. So with that being said, let's talk about the power of two and how you can participate in our crowdfunding program. Our crowdfunding program is, once again, the most brilliant business model of anything I've ever seen, because you're going to take a one-time out-of-pocket donation, and you are going to build basically a fortune here. Here's how it works. This is the blueprint that we're going to talk about. Okay, it's what we call a 2x5 matrix, and a matrix is nothing more than a platform, and it's people helping people. So it's going to start off with you, and you are, the beautiful thing about this, it's by invitation only. Someone's going to invite you to participate in our crowdfunding program. And then you're going to give the opportunity to invite other people to join you. Minimum is 2 people. You invite 2 people to join. Those 2 people invite 2 becomes 4. Those 4 people invite 2 becomes 8. Those 8 people invite 2 people becomes 16. And those 16 people invite 2 becomes 32. So theoretically, you are building a board or a cabinet of people. This is your board of directors of 62 people on your team. In baseball, you have 9 players plus the people on the bench. In football, you have 11 players on each side. Here, you have 62 people that are going to be directly connected to you, and it's about people helping people. So it's 2 to get 2, to get 2 to get 2. Now, obviously, you can get more than 2, and the faster you move, the faster it accumulates. So it is about the speed at the end of the day, because you want your donations to stack up as quickly as possible. The more people you have on your team, the quicker you're going to create the revenue. The more you give, the more you receive, and it works like this. Someone invited you to make a donation, and so you become part of our family. You're going to make a one-time donation of 10% of the cost of a Bitcoin. Currently, the cost of a Bitcoin is around $100, because Bitcoin right this moment is somewhere around $1,000. Now, we suggest you get a little more than that to put into your e-wallet. First thing you got to do is open up an e-wallet. The second thing you got to do is purchase some Bitcoins. The third thing you got to do is get the link to someone who invited you to this, okay? So here's what happens. You make a one-time, now everybody say one time. Let me hear you. One-time out-of-pocket donation. One-time out-of-pocket donation. That goes up to the person generally who sponsored you. That's a donation that comes to them. That's going to open up what we call level 1 for 2 people to become part of your team. Those 2 people are going to donate as well, exactly the way you did, a 0.1% of a Bitcoin. Those 2 donations come to you. That's right. Those 2 donations come to you. So when you've received 2 donations here by inviting 2 people, the first person you invite, you break even. The second person you invite, you actually have doubled your investment, if you want to call it an investment, but you have doubled your efforts here, okay? Now, you could stop right here if you want to and just double up on Bitcoin and stop. But why would you want to do that when you have the ability to continue to grow your business through 5 levels? So you take those 2 donations, you pay it forward, because every time you get 2 donations, you're going to pay it up to go to the next level. So you get 2 donations here, boom, boom, you pay it forward, and that opens up level 2. Level 2 means you can bring in 4 people. That's you and your team. So your 2 people get 2, that becomes 4. They're going to make a donation of 0.2 of a Bitcoin. So that means that when they make those donations to you, you're going to receive up to 4 donations at 0.2, or a total of 0.8 Bitcoins. But as soon as you get 2 of those donations coming to you, you're going to donate those up. You still have 2 left over, or actually you have 4.4 left, because you take 2 of those donations and you pay it forward, right? So you are now in a positive gain at this point. You're going to take 2 of those donations and pay it forward. Why are you going to do that? So you can open up level 3, and now you have 8 people coming into level 3. 8 people are going to pay you 0.4 of a Bitcoin. So now you're going to receive 3.2 Bitcoins. Okay, 3.2 Bitcoins. And as you receive 2 of those, you still got 6 more coming. When you get 2 donations to you, you're going to pay it forward again to an upline that's 3 levels above you, and a tune of 1 Bitcoin. Now, here I have people say, wow, that's a lot. That's $1,000 I'm giving away. Yes, it is. But here's what happens. You have accumulated 4.2 Bitcoins at this point. So your positive gain here, because you're going to, every time you receive a donation, you're getting ready to donate. So when you've received 2, you donate up. But your gain here is 2.5. So you are ahead of the game from this point on, and this could happen month in and month out over and over again, because see, you are now going to pay once a month a 0.1. You're going to receive all of this every month. So you're going to have a 2.5 gain every month if all you did was went through level 3, if you didn't go any further than that. How many people is that? 8 plus 4 plus 2, that is 14 people on your team. And you have, if a Bitcoin was worth $1,000, that's $2,500 a month net gain that you're receiving with just 14 people on your direct team. But you have taken this 1 Bitcoin and paid it forward. Why would you do that? Because now you're going to open up level 4. So you got 16 people, 8 who get 2 is 16. Each one of those people are going to send you 1 Bitcoin. So that's a total of 16 Bitcoins that will be coming into you over a period of days or weeks or months. But as these people begin to get their people in place, you will receive 16 Bitcoins. You're going to take, 2 Bitcoins and pay it forward, because when you receive 2 of these Bitcoins, you got 14 more to come. You get 2 donations. You're going to pay it forward. And why would you give up 2 Bitcoins? Because now you've received 20 0.2 Bitcoins. That could happen every month. You have a net gain of 16.5. So once again, that's over $16,000 coming in with, look at this, 16, there's 28, 22 people on your team, and you're generating over 16,000 in cash if you was to use the dollars and cents to that. But here goes 2 Bitcoins going up. Why do you do that? Opens up level 5. Level 5 means that 32 people, 16 people getting 2 are going to send you 2 Bitcoins, just like what you did. You sent up 2. You're going to receive 32 people sending you 2 Bitcoins each. That's 64 Bitcoins coming into your e-wallet. And out of those 64, 0 donations are coming out. So what does that mean at the end of the day? You've got 62 people on your team. You've accumulated 84.2 Bitcoins, and this could happen every month because you're going to redonate your 1/10, your 0.10, so you can get this and this and this and this and this all over again. So at the end of the day, you have given up 3.7 Bitcoins and your debt donation, and you've got a positive gain here of 80.5. Pretty incredible when you think about it. Pretty incredible. But what you can do is start thinking about who are the 2 people that you know. It's all about people helping people. The more people you help, the more you're going to receive. So you're going to want to share this information with as many people as you possibly can. Now, not to say that you're going to stack all your family members up. This is not one of those deals where you put your wife, your husband, your 3 kids into the program. You want to find 62 people that are board of director type people, people that are positive about life, people who want to run faster, jump higher, people who want to live in a nicer home, drive a nicer car, people who want to give to the charity of their choice, to be able to give to their community, to be able to give to their church, people that understand entrepreneurship and willing to go out and talk to people. Those are the people you want to plug into your community. So as Richard Branson said, if someone offered you an amazing opportunity and you're not sure you can do it, say yes, then learn how to do it later. What a powerful statement that is. It's worth repeating. If someone offered you an amazing opportunity and you're not sure you can do it, just say yes, then learn how to do it later. What's the real risk here? The risk is a stinking one-time donation of somewhere in the neighborhood of $100, $120, $125. That's one round of golf, okay? That's one night with your spouse at a very nice restaurant and a glass of wine. But what if this actually works? Look at the dollars and cents that happens. We're going to convert that into dollars real quick. Let's say that each coin was worth $1,000. You join up, you spend $100 to donate. You go get level 1, you find 2 people to do what you do, you collect $200. You take those $200 and you pay it forward, okay? That opens up level 2. On level 2, you got 4 people coming in on your team. You may or may not know these 4 people, but they're going to be part of your success team. They're going to donate 0.8 Bitcoins. So that's $800 now coming into your e-wallet. You're going to take 2 of those, that's $400, and you're going to pay it forward. You're now at a positive cash flow. That opens up level 3. Level 3, you got 8 people coming in. You may or may not know any of those people. The 4 people that came in get 2, that becomes 8. You receive 3.2 Bitcoins. At $100 per Bitcoin, that's $3,200 coming into your e-wallet. You're going to give up $1,000 and pay it forward. Why would you do that? Because you've accumulated $4,200. That opens up 16. Level 4 with 16 people coming in to give you 1 full Bitcoin each. That's $16,000 coming in. Out of that $16,000, you're going to take $2,000 and pay it forward. Why would you do that? Because now you've accumulated $20,200 in revenue, and you've only given up, and you keep 16.5 of that. So it's pretty powerful, okay? Level 5 opens up. You got 32 people going to give you 2 Bitcoins each. That's 64,000. 0 money comes out of that. So at the end of the day, here's what it adds up to. 62 people on your team, $84,200 in. If you was to convert that into US dollars, that simply means that you gave up 3,700 over time, but your net gain here after your donations is 80,500. And that could happen over and over and over again as you go back through this program. Every month, you have the option to make that one-time donation. 2 people will join you, and then 4 people, and then 8 people, and 16 people. So now you can see how this goes through it over and over and over again. And you can now create legacy income, because what if those Bitcoins by the end of this year are at 3,000 each? And by this time next year, into next year, they're at 10,000 each. That's what they project. No guarantee, no guarantee, no guarantee. But all the indicators are saying that Bitcoin is going to go through the ceiling. So how do you get started? Here's my suggestion. We have a recipe here. The first thing you do is thank the person who invited you to take a look at this. Go to our Team Getting Started website. It's called teamallbitcoin.com. Team, T-E-A-M, allbitcoin.com. There are videos there that will tell you what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. Videos that will show you how to open up an e-wallet. Everybody has to have an e-wallet. It will show you how to purchase Bitcoins, because everybody is 100% through Bitcoin. Now, why do we use Bitcoin? Because there's no chargebacks with Bitcoin. There's no fraud with Bitcoin. There's no commissions being paid out. There's no third party touching the money. There's no company touching the money. It goes from person to person. It's the most beautiful business model that I've ever seen. We have a video that will show you how to open up an e-wallet, a video that shows you how to purchase Bitcoins, and a video that showed you how to enroll with your Bitcoin funding team and how you can make your first time donation and what you need to do it. Now, here is the most important thing that we've said here on this presentation. It's important that you follow directions. It's important that you follow directions, because it's a simple thing to do, but it's simple not to do the simple things. So if you don't take time to go to this website because you're too busy, then you're probably too busy to build this thing out to 84.2 Bitcoins per month over and over and over again. If you're too busy to learn what it is that we do, then you're probably too busy to become successful and wealthy. If you don't have the discipline to go watch the videos and learn how to teach other people to do what you do, this opportunity is probably not for you. So you probably need to do something else or keep doing what you're doing. This is about people helping people. If I personally sponsor you, I'm personally going to sit down with you and watch the videos with you to be sure that you, number one, watch them, and number two, that you understand what is expected of you. And it's my job as your sponsor. I have responsibility to be sure that I've coached you and mentored you correctly. If I teach my first 2 people to teach their 2 people, then we're in the process of duplication. But if I just throw a bunch of stuff on the wall and hope it sticks, then that's not duplication. So it's a simple thing to do, but it's a simple thing not to do. So what you need to do at this point is simply get back with whoever invited you to our presentation here today. Go and get your questions answered either through them and or through their upline, or plug into our training calls. Go to our Facebook site. We have a lot of information on Facebook. I have a lot of information on my YouTube channel, bitcoinretirementplan.com. And there's no excuse out there that you could come up with that could keep you from having success here other than just not trying. It is almost impossible to fail if you're teachable and coachable. That's really all it takes right here. Now, I know you're probably going to get in an area that you might be slightly uncomfortable with, but that's just part of growing up. It's part of life. Think about the very first day on your job, the very first day at elementary school, the very first day at junior high, the very first day at high school or college, and then you went on to the real world and got a job. Those are all times that you were extremely uncomfortable and wasn't sure what you were doing. This could be the same thing, but trust me, after just signing up a few people, it will be so simple and so easy. You won't be able to sleep at night thinking about what's going to about to happen to your family and your family's family. So take this thing very, very serious with everything to gain and nothing to lose. What's the risk? The risk is not even trying. That is what the real risk here is. Because from a dollar standpoint, you're looking at less than $150 to build a business that could pay you literally millions of dollars, literally millions of dollars over and over and over again. So hopefully that got you excited enough that you can be thinking of a few people and help them to get a few people and help them to get a few people. It's been a real pleasure for me to share this information with you. And if you see what I see, you won't be able to sleep for days and days and weeks and weeks. Thank y'all for being here. And with that, I am going to turn off the recording, but I will open up questions. And if, let me go ahead and shut off the recording here if I can.